And we are live. Hello, everyone. So this week's podcast, Eat Your Oranges podcast, I will be inviting our good friend for ours, Jini Cowan. Jini Cowan has been a good friend of Oranges from the very beginning. She helped me with a lot of stuff when it first come bringing the brand. So lots of respect for her. So she's been in the industry for about 14 years now, from DJing to producing to running her own label. She's also got her own DJ academy. Ginny's going to go into the depths of being a female in the industry, the challenges and obviously the differences between, because obviously it's such a male dominated industry. So yeah, I'm going to invite Ginny along and make sure if you've got any questions, just drop us in the comments and as best as we can.
Hello!
Hello!
Oh, wow.
Long time no see.
Since I've seen you, Will.
I think it's probably since my party.
It's been a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably been since my party was the last time I saw you.
Wow. Yeah, do you know what? It's nice actually having a conversation with you rather than trying to shout inside Cable's basement.
Because I felt that's probably
trying to give you advice in a club.
That's probably been 90% of our conversations of just facing each other in a club.
In the middle of the dance floor having a chat. Yeah, it doesn't work. This is what. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. Enjoying the bit of time off after Christmas. But yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Obviously a bit gutted that I can't work at the moment because of lockdown.
I bet you are.
It's really annoying. I mean, but nothing I can do, is there really? I'm trying to just keep myself busy with other things because I won't be talking about that. But I'm just trying to keep myself busy. I miss teaching though. Miss it really.
Yeah, no, you've kind of fallen in love for it now, haven't you?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah. So right, we'll delve more into that in a bit, but we'll start heading through it. So where was the initial start for you in the music industry? Because obviously you've got your fingers in every single pie at the moment. You're kind of in all aspects of it.
Literally, yeah. So basically I was when I was at school, I was I was into like classical music, played instruments. And it was kind of like, when you I think I was about eight or nine, and you have like these musical instrument open days when your parents are like, right, you need to like see if you want to learn a musical instrument, and they have out in the hall at school, and they had like pianos and like all this stuff, and I went straight to the piano, and I remember just sitting down and I said to my mum, I was like, I want to play this, like I want to play the piano. So I started playing the piano when I was 8.
Lovely.
And then you what? Sorry.
I just said lovely. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. So basically, so I started playing that, and then I played the flute. Started playing the flute 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think after about 3 years, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, because back then, obviously, it wasn't cool to play instruments. Like, you used to get bullied and stuff by other kids. You could, well, you get into orchestra practice,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it wasn't really a thing. But yeah, so I remember joining the school orchestra when I think I was about 11. And then I actually joined an orchestra like based in where I was from. So I was there for 3 years. So obviously my background was like heavily classical. Like I hadn't never even heard of a DJ. I've never electronic music or anything like that. I literally was like writing music, like handwriting it on what we call manuscript.
Right.
Like where you actually write notes. So say when you're producing music, you're putting it into the software.
Yeah.
I was physically writing the notes on a piece of paper. So that was So
I'm guessing that's helped you a lot then when it's coming to music. Definitely.
I still actually write music, like handwrite it when I'm.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, when I write like melodies and like bass lines and stuff, I will write it in notes rather than just straight onto software, just because it's easier to like transpose it across, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then I did GCSE music because and A level because I was going to be a music teacher. So I went to my mum was like, you can go do your A levels, go to uni. I was going to be a music teacher, and then one day, like, because all I used to listen to was Classic FM. I didn't listen. I know, it's madness, isn't it? Like all I used to do was listen to Classic FM. And then one day I remember pressing the radio to the next station to see what it was.
Yeah.
And it was so Capital, what is Capital FM now? Used to be Galaxy 102.
Yes, I vaguely remember it.
Many years ago, Will.
I vaguely remember it.
You're
yeah.
young. You're young. Yeah, so many years ago, it used to be Galaxy, and they used to play like very, very commercial house. What we would call commercial house now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just like dance music.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it, and I was like, oh, quite like this, because it was made up of stuff like that I liked, like melodies and bass lines and stuff like that, but obviously in an electronic sort of form. So I remember listening to this, and then they had a show. I think it was a Friday night. It was Riley and Durant, and they were two guys, and all they did was play minimal. But I mean, like, not minimal like is what minimal is at the moment. I mean, like proper minimal, like sleepy stuff, like proper underground.
Ricardo Villalobos type.
Yeah, like really, really underground stuff. And I remember they played this track, and I can still remember it now, called Dirty Dick Hazard by Charlie Fan Club. And they played it, and I was like, this is sick. Like, what is this? Yeah. So I remember I used to listen to it every week, and I'd write down the names of the tracks like that they were playing. So I started going on YouTube and obviously YouTubing these tracks. And then, you know how they've got like suggested videos at the side of YouTube videos? Yeah. They had a video of Eddie Halliwell, who's like, if no one knows who he is, he's like a massive trance DJ. Massive. Used to play for like God's Kitchen, Good Grief, all of that. And there was a video of him scratching on the CDJs. And I watched it on repeat like every day for like a week. And I was like, what's he doing? Like, this is amazing. And I remember saying to my mum, because me and my brother, when we were younger, we got money for going to uni, you know, like just to if we went to uni. And I remember going to my mum and being like, Mum, you know that money that you gave, like, that gave me for uni? Because I was going to go to uni. I was like, can I use it to buy some decks? And she was like, what?
Yeah, that wasn't a pleasant smile.
She was just like, yeah, whatever. And they were like some really crappy, like, belt-driven turntables off like Amazon or something. And they had Ministry of Sound slip mats on them. How cool they were. They had Ministry of Sound slip mats on them. And I remember getting them. They came in this massive box, and I got them out when they came, and I set them all up and everything. And I had, like, then I was like, right, I need to actually buy some records because I can't do anything without them. Mm-hmm. And so I was at college then. This was when I was 17. And I was at college, and I went to HMV in town and bought about 4 vinyl, I think. And they were all house, like proper vocal house. Yeah. I'd been researching all this music that I could find, that I could mix together. Because I just taught myself, like I literally just taught myself to beat match using vinyl. And it was so stressful. Like it was stressful. Because I didn't, you know, like I'd never done it before. Like I didn't know where to start or anything. Obviously I could count and everything like that, but it was just the actual mixing the records together that was hard. Mm-hmm. And then I'd have some times where it would go perfectly, and I'd mix like 4 tracks together. And then
you'd be like at your room, you'd be like, yes!
Oh, why can't I do it? Like, why? And I was living at home with my parents at this point, so I literally spent all my time in my room mixing records. Yeah. And then I think I bought some like really cheap CDJs, really, really rubbish ones. You wouldn't even be able to get them anymore. That's how old they are. But I remember getting them, and obviously it was CDs back then, so there was no USBs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Honestly, I had to burn CDs after CDs, and then I got my first little gig thing in Sale, where I'm from. And it was like the equivalent of like a slug and lettuce, so like really small bar. But obviously when you've been playing music in your room, you're like, oh my god, I'm playing music.
Yeah, you'll take anything.
I was so scared. And I remember I burnt all my CDs, and I took like a massive wallet, and I mean it had like 100 CDs in it. But you're having to burn them every time, like, you know, it takes like 5 minutes to burn it. So you just like, why is it taking so long? But yeah, so I got my first gig in Sale. And I mean, it wasn't anything like big. It was just like playing commercial house, just like party tracks, basically. Yeah. Just on a Friday and Saturday night. But that's where like people got to know me, because that's where I grew up. That's where I went to school. I saw loads of people from school who, when I told them that I wanted to be a DJ at school, they were all like, "You're never going to be a DJ. Like you're a kid." And then they were like, "Oh, do you need an actual DJ?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." Like, and it was, it was really nice. But yeah, so when I was actually playing there, a guy came in one night, and as I was walking out, he said to me, he was like, "Oh, I run a club in town in the Printworks called Opus. Like, you won't know that because it's not been there for a long time, but it was a massive club in the Printworks where they did student nights every Monday. It was like 90p drinks, like they get like 1,000 people in every week. It was mental. And he was like, do you want to come and play for my night on a Monday? He said, you can come and play next Monday and like warm up for an hour. And I was like, what, in an actual club? And he was like, yeah, in an actual club. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, buzzing. So I can still remember going to my first gig that I played. And it was, you walked in and it was just like a massive room, and it had a stage. Obviously the bar was like on the side, and there was just a massive stage, and then the decks were on top of the stage. And I walked in, and I just remember standing on the stage and just being like, is this actually happening? And then the next thing, the room was just full of people.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But that is the place where really my career started there. Because then I played there for about 6 months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they did all sorts. They did house nights. They did like we even had Westwood. We had Westwood. I know. Don't even start me off about Tim Westwood.
Very good's that.
Weirdo. Plays good tunes though. He does actually play good tunes. But yeah, they had all sorts of nights on there. But it was just good for me to network with people and to meet people. Because then from that's when I played at Sankey's, and that's like a massive gig for me. Massive.
It is.
Yeah, that was.
So do you think? No, I'm a very, very, very strong believer in networking. I think it's the fundamentals of success. I think you do need to go out there, get your hands dirty, and speak to people. Yeah. Do you think getting that Sankey's gig was from you going networking and going out and speaking to people?
Yes, yeah. Because before then, there wasn't SoundCloud. I think had just become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Book had just become a thing. It wasn't, how it is now, where you literally can post a mix in a group and someone will be like, yeah, come play my night.
Yeah, I get you.
Sell these tickets and come play my night. It wasn't like that. I think like DJs now, they don't realise how hard it was back then. It was really hard. It wasn't like, say, it wasn't like you could just message someone and be like, can I come play tonight? And they'd be like,
write them a letter.
Write out a really special email. You'd burn a mix to a CD, you'd burn a mix, put the track list on it, and then go and give it to them. Like you would give CDs.
You wouldn't even think about doing that now. That's just completely.
You wouldn't, but you would. I would always have like mixed CDs with me. Like if I went to Sankey's or somewhere like that, because I was always out, because I was like 18 by this point.
Yeah.
So I was always out, but I'd always have them in my bag in case I met people, I'd be like, right, here's a mix that I've done. Like, listen. But I like you say, I've always been a believer in networking. If it work, it won't work. Like you can't make it. Should I say?
Yeah.
Without networking.
I completely agree, because I remember the upcoming 3 months before my event, I was out every single weekend. Probably because I enjoyed partying. I did enjoy the partying bit.
But at the same time, like I said to you when I met you at Cable, it was really refreshing to see you talking to people and to talk to me, asking me for advice. Like I being able to give people advice, like I buzz off it. So, but the way that you approached it was really, really good. Like that's what I said to you about Unite, because I still remember Unite with Casey, and you were proper nervous, and I was like, mate, and you actually smashed it.
I was over the moon with it.
But that's from working.
I know, yeah.
That's from working hard.
I know. You don't really see it from my perspective at the time. I was really dreading it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't know, have I put enough work in? Because I didn't have any music people in the industry. All my friends are kind of like into football and weren't really into the music thing. So I was kind of going in it completely blind. And I was fortunate to have you and people like Phil Cook to advise me and say, here's what to do and blah, 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 blah. But I did kind of go in it completely blind. Yeah. I remember for the first hour I was on the door for the first hour, getting tickets.
Yeah.
And then I was on, and I remember opening the door to Cable going in.
Yeah, you were like, oh my
I
God.
went, bloody hell, it's packed.
Yeah, you were proper emotional, weren't you? I remember you were proper emotional, and I remember thinking that, like, I'm so happy for you. I was genuinely so happy for you.
With it.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
over the moon. And
Thousand.
then I remember going, or speaking to Sam Hall, who does
Yeah,
Young's Utopia. I was like,
yeah,
bloody hell, I'm buzzing with this. He went, oh, just relax now, just
yeah.
de-stress. You've done your set, and I got absolutely wankered. And I woke up the next day. I went, I can't even remember getting home. And I can't even remember saying bye to Casey. I was like, supposed to be professional and all that, but
Oh,
everything was
well,
fine.
I was working it because I think I'd worked like 14 hours or something.
You was in a big shift that shift.
Casey Spillman was buying me tequila shots. I was like, stop it.
Yeah, it was a fun night. That I really enjoyed it. I was doing the pre-party, and the lads from
Yeah,
Liverpool come down.
yeah,
Remember, I went to the toilet. I did have a few drinks beforehand, so I was a bit in the emotions, and a little tear did come down my cheeks. But
oh, no, you proper smashed it though. It was a midnight.
yeah,
That was one of the nights I've worked there. It was class.
absolutely over the moon with that. Over the moon. So just backtracking a bit. Well, one thing I obviously want to talk about is because obviously I know nothing about that. So when you first got into DJing, was it just vinyl then? Was the CDJs about or not?
They were, yes, but
Or was it the very beginning?
it was a very start. So it was like there was no USBs on the CDJs.
Don't even know what that'd be like.
They were like, I think they were CDJ 1000s, and they had literally nothing on them, just a CD deck. So you just literally have to put CDs in.
Is that it?
Yeah, literally just put CDs in with your tracks on. But then I had a couple of instances like where I can still remember sometimes in my early career where the CD would get jammed in the deck.
Oh dear.
And you'd be like,
Shit.
dial this out, like, really.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was completely. I can't even imagine doing that now. I can't
Oh
imagine.
no, I can't even imagine at all.
I can't imagine like not having that now.
Yeah, it's probably take it too much for a luxury now, don't we?
They pop it in your bag or in your pocket, done.
I know, completely agree. So obviously, you're the first lady, the first woman on the Eat Your Oranges podcast. So one thing obviously I really want to delve into, because as I say, you're probably one of my only female friends in the music industry. There's not many female friends of mine in the music industry.
Yeah.
What struggles have you had that someone like me or friends that I wouldn't even clock onto, or do you feel like it has been an easy ride for you?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I think a lot of people have this conception that being a girl, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a girl, like, you've got boobs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Tell yourself. That's not how it is. I mean, some girls are like that. These like model DJs and all this that I've seen like popping up at the moment. But for me personally, it's been very, very stressful. Don't get me wrong, I've had like really good parts of my career, but then also parts like from the beginning where it was like I didn't want to do it, then I did want to do it, then I'd be like, can't do it, literally can't do it. But there's been several occasions, like not really recently, maybe back when I first started and I was playing clubs regularly, where like I was saying about selling tickets to play for people. So I can remember playing for two guys who just messaged me on Facebook, and they were like, "Oh, we run this like it was like an electro night, but it was like they were like talking it up and saying it was really good and like it was busy." And I thought, "Oh yeah, sound like I'll do it." They were like, we'll give you some tickets, and they're going to be like £10 each, and you'll make like £1 off them if you sell them."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously I want to play. So got to the night. I didn't really sell many tickets because no one really wanted to go to it. Like, to be honest, it wasn't my scene. It wasn't my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just did it because it was exposure. Do you know what I mean?
So
I was literally like, I'll just do it. And then I remember getting there, and one of my mates, Gemma Furbank, she's a techno DJ. She was playing as well. And I remember I got there, and she was already there, and she came over to me, "It's dead." And I was like, "Completely?" And she said, "Yeah, it's completely dead." So I walked in and it was like there was literally about 5 people there, and I just thought, oh my god, like I'm gonna have to play to an empty room because I've been used to playing to
Yeah.
that bloke,
Yeah, the uni nights.
then playing at Sankey's, and then this, I was just like, oh wow,
Bit daunting.
yeah, it was. But then I played obviously and whatever, and then I remember saying to the guys, I was like, can I have my money please? Because I'd sold tickets, but it's like, you know, I was at college by this point, I wasn't working, so I needed taxi money and stuff to get home. It's like, and I was like, can you give me 20 quid so I can get home? And they were like, no, you've not sold enough tickets. And I was like, well, you told me you'd give me money for the tickets I've sold, and it's like 40 quid or something, but I was like, that's for me to get home. Anyway, I remember I just went home because I was like, I'm not arguing about it, I'll just go. Anyway, I remember texting them a couple of days after, and because he kept saying, you with the money, we'll meet you with the money, and like, we'll meet us in town and we'll give you the money. Anyway, they didn't. I went to town and didn't show up, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, just complete piss take.
Joke. Anyway, I got like loads of messages, like abuse from them, saying that I was a diva and I was cutting off my nose to spite my face and like all this stuff, and I was going to be playing bars for the rest of my life. Another big one, actually, which is probably worse than this one, actually. But when it was in, when was it now? It must have been in like 2009, something like that. When Pasha was in London. So they had a Pasha in London and it closed. So a guy contacted me from Pasha and was like, do you want to come and play at Pasha? And I was like, oh my God, yes. It's like Pasha in London. Like I've never played in any big clubs or been like played in London at all. So he said again, he was like, right, I'll give you some ticket or some guest list to sell, I think it was. It's like £10 a ticket. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I asked one of my close mates to come with me. So I paid for my own travel, paid for my own hotel. Bearing in mind that 50 quid. Like money that I didn't really have, but I was like, I get to play in London, so, you know, pay anything for that.
Yeah.
So I got to like the night before, and he was like, he said, have you got your guest list names? And I had a few because I knew people down there, but it was like I had a few, so I just sent it over. And then he said, right, I'll see you tomorrow. Blah blah. Gave me the details. Got down there, so you know, got all dressed up, like made an effort, got down to the club. And got to the door, and the promoter was stood on the door, and he was like, yeah, I'm really sorry, you're not going to be able to play tonight. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you've not got enough names on your guest list. And I was like,
no way.
He made me come all the way down to London and like come to the club and to tell me that I'm not playing. And he was like, no, I'm really sorry. So then he gave me 2 drinks vouchers.
What a piss take.
Honestly, like, and I will never forget that.
That is a definition of a piss take. That.
Stood in the club and just like, because I stayed for like an hour. I was really.
That's what I mean. You wouldn't even want to stay. You wouldn't even want them drinks.
Lasso was like, Ginny, are you all right? And I was just like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I think I was just pretending. I was just like, yeah, come all the way down here now. I've spent all this money. I might as well stay and drink. And then I went back to the hotel, and then. Yeah, I remember my mum phoned me the next day and she was like, oh, how did it go? And I was like, didn't play. And I started crying on the phone.
Yeah, you would do. It's a piss take.
I can't believe that I just came all the way down. And other things as well, like loads. But I think back then I was so naive. I didn't, I literally just wanted the opportunity to play. I literally just, but then I asked, after this incident at Pasha, I asked like a couple of good friends in the industry about it, and they were just like, yeah, don't you're basically paying to play. So basically paying, you know, and selling tickets, it's just a big no. Like I would always say to people now, don't do it. Do not do it.
That's what one of my friends contacted me. He said he's been contacted by a club and he was like, you want to get involved with Orange? And I had a look into it and I was thinking, you could clearly tell what the purpose was because I got on the phone call with this woman straight away. Yeah. Oh, nice, your brand from Orange, blah, blah, blah. She didn't even ask what type of music we played. Yeah. So how many people can you bring down? And I just felt straight away, right, that's the sales.
It's a massive red flag, that.
Yeah, you can just tell straight away.
It's just for them to make money. It's nothing to do with DJs. You know, this is why, you know, when you go to, I've been to some places in London, and you go down there and they've got like 15 DJs on, and they're playing for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And then they're playing like Tech House at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. I know, it's just so they get crowds in, don't they? So they all bring their friends and
So yeah, never do that again. So yeah, I learned my lesson after that.
Definitely. Well, it's a shame really, because it's something I was debating doing for mine. I was thinking, should I get all my friends down and then I'll get loads of ticket sales? But then I took a step back and I was thinking, you've got to think about what the crowd wants.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few of my friends who are going to do events, or it's a friend of mine who's planning on booking Rossi in Manchester. And he was like, right, I'm bringing this, and this person. And I'm thinking, I just said to him, just take a step back a sec. I went, if you want to sell crowds for a ticket, people want to see Rossi for at least 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
They don't want to see half an hour slots of everyone, then Rossi for a quick hour at the end.
I don't understand people, like, from my point of view, when I do events, I'll always put the headliner on for 2 or 3 hours.
Because I'm the same now.
At the end of the day, as a promoter, you're paying for that headliner. It can be like, what, £1,000, £3,000. So why would you want them on for half an hour?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's someone that you really want to see as well.
Exactly.
You'd want them on for a couple of hours at least. So yeah, I don't get people that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think most events because I'm always sat at home and I'm thinking, let me plan this event, and I plan events in my head. Then I get giddy. Then a week later, I change my mind and go, no, I want this DJ.
Yeah.
But I think most events I'm going to try and plan for the future will be just extended sets, like 3-4 hours, and maybe Orange Residents and a friend to warm up.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely recommend. Personally, go out, I prefer that. I prefer going to see a DJ that I've been looking forward to seeing, and then seeing him play for like I remember I went to see Apollonia, like one of my favourite DJs, but they were playing for like 4 hours, and I was completely happy with that. Like, no, God, just them for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And like,
you're buzzing because you can just proper zone in and let them go through the journey of them.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I agree with you.
I completely agree. So now we've talked about that. So let me go into probably more about what you actually do. So you've got, like I said before, you've got your fingers in every single pie possible.
Yeah. So I'll start from the beginning. So obviously, I'm a producer. So I started producing music about 10, 11 years ago now. Again, taught myself because, like I was saying to you earlier, I'd done GCSE music. I'd done classical music exams, and a lot of those, especially theory, because you had to do theory exams when you did practical exams. A lot of that was actually composing music, so making a track but not on software.
Yeah.
So I'd already got the ability to do that, but then I hadn't used software ever.
Yeah.
But I remember I got a MacBook, got Logic, because I'd been recommended it by a friend, and then I remember opening it, looking at it, being like, right,
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what do we do? And I think I downloaded some sample packs, I think, and just put some sounds, and then I slowly started because I'd been playing house and I'd been playing electro and stuff like that. I knew how the tracks were structured, so it was just about getting my ideas into that arrangement,
finding your sound.
Yeah, and then so have you heard of the Body Rockers who did that Where You Move? I had a residency at a club called Reachy White in town. It's no longer there, but it was a house venue. And one of the guys there, resident John Fitz, he's the bass player from Body Rockers.
Mm-hmm.
Got chatting to him, and he's the same as me, got a big classical background. Got chatting to him, and he was like, "Come to my studio, and I'll show you how to make a track. We'll make a track together." Oh my god! I was sat. I remember going to his studio and watching him do it, and he was playing because he plays bass, so obviously he's playing his bass lines into Logic, and piano. He's a pianist as well, so he was playing, and I was just like, "This is insane!" I was just sat watching. We made a full track together in 3 hours. No samples whatsoever, all played in on and then we released it. Actually, I think we released it 5 years ago. We got a vocalist to record a vocal over the top of it, It's on Spotify. Just plug that.
Always love a plug.
It's called we actually called it the Cold Pump, but it's featuring Velma Danzo. Very housey, nothing like now, but very, very like vocal housey. And then he told me the way that he arranges a track, like when he first goes into one and how he makes it. And he told me to arrange the first 16 bars of a track as a whole track, all the sounds in, and then arrange it from there, like the rest of it, like the full track. And I've done that every single track I've ever made.
Is that how you process now? Just
yeah. I find like I think the more I've done it, I think it's definitely arranging is, especially with clients that I have, arranging is the hardest thing that people find. Like they can't do it. They can get the sounds in, but it's just arranging the structure. Mixed arrangements are the hardest thing for people to do. But it really just takes practice. So that's the producer side. So then my label, Anima, started that in 2016. Basically the first year was just parties. So I did 4 parties in London, Leeds, 2 in Manchester. Actually, no, I did 2 in London. Yeah, 1 in Leeds, 1 in Manchester. And the first one I did at Whiskey Jar. Most stressful night of my life. Like how you felt when you did your night. I was worrying. I was thinking like, it was just a free entry. Like I didn't sell anything. But
are people going to turn up?
I just remember being there and being like, oh my god, I'm so scared. Like, what if no one comes to it? And people did, and again, like I was saying about networking, it was really nice to see loads of Manchester promoters there, like chatting, networking. You know, it was nice to see them supporting, because that's another thing I believe in. I think like promoters should always go to each other's nights.
I completely agree.
So like it's just respectful. I've always been like that. So I did the year of parties. Then the year after, actually yesterday, like 5 years ago, yesterday was the first release on Beatport. It's really, really well. So we've done 11 releases now. We've got a VA coming out. I'm going to try and get it out in February. So we've got some really good tracks on it. Going more for like the minimal sound. Yeah. And I want to give a shout to my A&R Holly, because she has smashed it. Absolutely smashed it with these. She's I only took her on like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I saw that. So what does Holly do then?
So basically Holly goes through all the demos. So anyone that sends music over, she'll listen to them, she'll give them feedback, whether it's good or not, whether it's right for the label. She'll schedule all the releases on for distribution, and then for artwork, stuff like that. And basically she's just smashed it. Like because I did all of this by myself, and I think last year should I say, I realised I can't do everything myself. Too much, because like you say, I do so much stuff. I wasn't having time for myself, and I was just, I concentrated on making music like last year. Then when the lockdown happened, I concentrated on my mastering business, and then obviously my DJ academy, and then my label just sort of like took a back seat. And then now, obviously, with the situation with COVID and everything, I thought like this is a perfect time to get releases in. So this is what me and Holly are like working on at the moment. We've got like the VA will be coming out in February, and we've got like 12 tracks on it.
Oh, lovely!
They're really, really, really good tracks. So keep an eye out for that.
So do you try and get on it at all of your releases? You as a producer, or?
So I've released. How many have I done now? I think I've done like 4 on my label. Yeah, which are like my own releases. The first one I did was I think it was like 2 years ago, and it was a really, really, really good release. We've always, with the label, like it's good because we've always had good chart positions and good coverage. Like my Mix Mag, and it was on Scuba's radio show.
How good's that?
Like it was really, really good. It's like and like I don't like releasing my own tracks too much, because I prefer to get, because the whole sort of like concept of my label is to give upcoming producers a chance to release music, because I know more than anyone how hard it is to sign music, and how hard to contact labels and then get knocked back by them, or get messed about by people. So mine, as long as it fits style wise, I'm happy to give people the opportunity. You know, from my mastering business, some of the producers that I've had sending me music who have never released music before, and I'm like, I want that for my people. Like, it's sick. Like, you can see the potential, but they just don't. A lot of them don't. You know, it's their first EP or the first track that they've made, and they don't have a clue what to do with it because they're like, you know what I mean? Like, you go on Facebook and everyone's like, you know, they're asking for label addresses and like emails and stuff, and then they're like, what do I need to put in the email when I send it? And like,
So them.
Does it need mastering and like all this stuff? So yeah, I try and give everyone sort of like an opportunity because I know that it's hard.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that because I've obviously we had a release with Jennings, which was absolutely over the moon with. Really happy with him coming on the label, and then we started signing our next releases because and was like, right, we'll keep hold of them. We'll wait till clubs open, and then clubs are known. We thought we had a chance. I saw it, and I was like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But now we're backlogged, so I've near enough got off a release near enough every 6 weeks for this year now.
Amazing.
So yeah, we're completely backlogged by it. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I understand, even though I've not been in the music industry as many years as you, but I understand what it's like to be at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the struggle of it. So a lot of the people who I've signed, I've never really had a release before or had one or two releases.
The thing is as well, like, you never know what will come of it. You know, I've released music like early on when the label was quite new for producers, and then they've gone on to like get loads of bookings.
Yeah.
So you never know, because the thing is with what I was always told by a very good friend of mine when I first started out was, if you want to make it as a DJ, bar a few exceptions, you need to make a track. You need to make music.
Very few people who haven't
exactly. Like artwork, for instance, he's
Jack
never
Master, maybe
like Jack. They've never made any music, but they're like, it's their characters, I think. But and they're like, you know, their social media stuff like that. But most people, like I was saying, like it's not unique to be a DJ anymore.
Yeah,
it's not. Like, everyone is a DJ.
You'll see it every Unigaff or every party. There's someone there.
Need to set yourself apart from everyone else, and you know, that's what I've always done. I've never followed anyone. I've never tried to copy anyone's sound. I don't see the point of it. Why would you want to?
I completely agree. I completely agree in that sense. I remember I was questioning myself quite a bit at the beginning of lockdown because I was getting into producing. I did Josh Baker's Syntho Hub Beginners Club.
Yeah.
Really well, and then I just didn't have the passion for it.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh, bloody hell, am I going to do something here? And then I just thinking, you don't have to make music to be in the music industry.
No, you don't have to. It depends.
And I think you're even though you do make music, you are a prime example of that.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 different ways you can get in the music industry.
You don't have to. I think it's hard because there's so much pressure on people at the moment, and this is another thing with like everything that's going on with COVID. Everyone's trying to stay relevant at the moment, and you can't, like, I've accepted now, because obviously I'm doing so much stuff. I'm fortunate that I can do what, you know, the other stuff that I need to do. But for other people who are maybe just producers or just DJs, like, I can see that they're trying to be in the spotlight, and it's like, you're not playing anywhere. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, everyone is in the same position at the moment, so it doesn't matter if you're not making music every day. You know, I've seen DJs that are saying, and producers that are saying, like, I'm gonna make a track every day, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's just stress you out.
Yeah, I can't make a track in a day. I can't finish one. I think I ever finished one in one session. So I don't know why people put pressure on themselves like that.
Yeah.
You know, when I make music, I literally will make it when I feel like making it. I can't. I got to a point where when I was doing, like, you know, when my career had properly started and I was like under pressure. I was 21 and just, you know, left college, and then I was like, right, I need to be making like 5 tracks a month, and I'd be sat down looking at Logic and be like, I can't think of any, but I'd be like, do it. You need to make a track. You need to do it today.
And sometimes that's just as bad for you as it is.
It is, because you're not, and this is what I've noticed, a lot of the music that's out there at the moment, it's so recycled and it's so samey.
And forced.
Yeah. And it's just, no, I just, no. I mean, each their own. Everyone does what they want to do. I'm not slagging anyone off for it. Like, they can do what they want. But for me personally, I think you just have to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Literally.
I am also a strong believer, is because when we was coming to signing new people to our label, we did get a lot of no's, but a lot of replies also were, I've not got the inspiration at the moment. This was coming from a more bigger DJ.
Yeah.
So I feel like, obviously, all these younger, upcoming DJs just want to push.
And I get why they want to do that. I get why, you know, if you've just become a DJ and you know, you've been going blooming, I don't know, Studio 338 every weekend, and you seem like be playing like every weekend, and you're like, I want to be my BB, like I want to be like this massive DJ, like I need to do it like right now. It doesn't happen overnight.
Oh no, it doesn't.
A lot of people think that it does. It really doesn't. Like, I've been in this for a long time now, and you know, it's hard because people say to me, you know, why have you never made it big? Like, why are you not like playing it? Like, why are you not doing it full time? Why are you not like getting all these places? Because I don't want to. Because in like for my mental health, I couldn't deal with doing that. Like, I couldn't. I don't think people understand. Like, yeah, whenever I tell people I'm a DJ, they're like, oh, I bet you like get to just go and party all weekend. Like, you know, you get paid loads of money and all this, and I'm like, yeah, but have you seen the other side of it, where you go to a hotel, you're on your own constantly, you're traveling, you're not sleeping,
3 hours sleep all weekend,
properly, you literally don't see your family or your mates. Like,
yeah,
do you not, like, people don't see that side of it?
Yeah,
it's amazing, but you have to have the balance there.
Completely agree.
So I've just waffled off the conversation again.
No, it's all right. Usually that's how it goes. We start one thing and we end up on the other.
Do it all the time. Right, go on. Right, ask your normal question.
No, but I do completely agree that it is a patience and it is a long game. It is. You're supposed to be here for the long run. And the facts of people making it, I've never really understood that make it, because when I say, oh, Will Townsend, you've got to make it. I look at it and I just think, right, who do I want to be in 5 years? And I look and go, right, I'm going to aim for that. And then in 5 years' time, I'm going to ask the exact same question to myself. Who do I want to be in 5 years? I'm never going to make the person who I want to be, because I'm always wanting to improve.
One thing with me as well, because I literally, you know, I'm so chilled and I like to think I'm down to earth and like everything. I always have been. You know, I literally cannot think. I can't sit down and literally think about what I've done in my career, because it's madness. It's actual madness. Like, I can't. I did that much when I was, you know, maybe like 10 years ago, when I just started, and I'd been in Mixmag. I've been Mixmag like 6 times, and like, even like, I've still got them. They're in a couple, but like I've looked at them like maybe like a year ago, and it still doesn't sink in. Yeah. And that's why I've never been like, I like to think I'm not a dickhead. I can't be like that. I'll never be like that. I'll always help people. I'll always, you know, be there if people need advice. I can't be one of these people that's a knob, and that's
completely agree. I remember you, like I said, you and Phil Cook were the first 2 people to probably ever help me with it. So if anybody is watching and you've got a question, more than happy.
Yeah, please ask any advice. I'm happy.
More than happy. So let's move on. So obviously, being in the music industry for years, 14 years, what advice do you have for anyone starting new? So let's go for starting a label? Let's go
Well,
for...
starting a label. Definitely research other labels. So say if you're wanting to go for like house, techno, minimal, because that's in at the moment, in it. Research other labels. Um, it's hard really because again, everyone wants to run a label now. Also, come to my DJ academy because I'll teach you how to run a label.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll teach you how to run a label. But yeah, just research. That's a massive thing. Like you did, get your artists that you know, get your demos set up, get a promo list of DJs. Obviously, normally you would get DJs that are playing regularly in big clubs, but you can't do that now. So just sort of like the way we do it with mine, my label is an A, B, and C list.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like A is like, you know, big DJs that are like playing regularly. B is like people who are like playing here and there, and then C is just people who are like upcoming, or but will use it on like live streams or mixing like that. Yeah, and definitely research your distribution as well. Like I use Labelworks for mine.
Yeah, I'm the same. Absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. Never had a problem with them in 5 years. They've been amazing. Yeah, research about your distribution and probably get your releases like scheduled. So get maybe sort of like 5-6 releases like locked in, and then sort of give yourself an idea of when you want to start releasing them. But it's just basically just don't forget your social media as well. Like social media channel, massively important for stuff. Anything, if you want to be a DJ, producer, label owner, anything like that, you need social media because honestly, I hate social media, especially at the moment. But without it, I wouldn't have got where I am now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, social media is a big thing. But also one thing is, even though I didn't do this because of COVID was quite difficult, I completely agree with stacking up your releases.
Yeah.
Definitely, because sometimes, especially, I had Adam Bacon who runs
Oh,
and he said because he just jumped in at the deep end. He was like me, jumped in at the deep end, signed his first release, and then was like, right, what now?
yeah.
So he waited 4 months till his next release. So if you can, and I know it is difficult if you are a brand new label and you've not really got any friends in the music industry, but try and stack a few releases up.
Definitely. If anything as well, I think with what's going on at the moment with COVID and, you know, we can't go out, we can't go clubbing, can't DJ, it gives you something to work towards in sort of like a schedule. So like now, I mean, between me and Holly, like I'm busy with everything else, but then I know that in my head, say like the VA's coming out next month, right? So I need to speak to Holly about scheduling it. I need to master all the tracks for it. So it gives you something to work towards. Rather than you just going month by month, and then once one comes out, then the next month you're like, right, I need to get the demos, then I need to like them, then I need to pick which ones I want on it, then I need to schedule it. It's just too much to do.
Yeah, it's too monotonous, and it's start again. It's nice to keep the ball rolling. I feel like with the snowball effect is. I remember what I feel personally, I remember we did my Jennings release and we got the next one signed. Then I was like, right, we'll just wait until the club's open. So I got the second one near enough signed, waited the club's near enough opened, and I was just waiting. The kind of the momentum,
waiting for nothing.
The momentum just stopped for the brand. But now I've realised, like, right, I'm leaving that club situation. I'm just going to go full throttle. The momentum with it, I've been speaking to people since, and I've probably done another 4 releases in like the last 4 weeks, all signed and sorted.
Yeah, that's brilliant news. That's the thing. This is how I thought. This is like why, because I should talk about my DJ Academy really, because I've just waffled.
Yeah, go delve into that now then.
So basically, like it actually leads on quite nicely from what you were just saying, because when COVID started, like, you know, last year. Before then I was like DJing at places and it was normal, and then they're saying now that you can't play anywhere, and I was like, right, what am I going to do now? Because I was like, you know, this is my full-time job. I don't have a normal job. Like, this is my full-time job. So I was thinking, like, what am I going to do, like, now that the clubs aren't open? So then I had my mastering business. So in the first lockdown I was rammed busy, like never been so busy in 2 months. It was insane. And then obviously things kind of like opened again. So, you know, there was these socially distanced events and stuff like that. So then it kind of like went back to normal, but then everything closed again. So back in July last year, because, you know, we met at Cable, that's when I was working there. So then they wanted me to come back, and I just said I physically cannot work, because I was working like 14-hour shifts, can't again, it's too much. And so between me and Greg, like, we had a chat about me, you know, doing DJ lessons in the club, because I said it's not being used, it's just sat there, it's this massive club, it's got a function one in it,
and it's just
dust. Yeah, exactly, it's just sat there. They were refurbing it actually looks mint now in there. But they've, you know, extended it so the capacities, it looks brilliant. But they've just said we're not using it. So I said, well, I've always wanted to open a DJ school. I've done since I first started. So he said, right, well, let's see if we can do that. And I just thought, you know, oh yeah, no one's going to come to it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, no one's going to come to it. Go. But it was madness. Like, on August, so I opened it in August. I think it was like beginning of August I opened it, and it was fully booked for the whole of August.
How good's that?
It was mint, and it just. But the thing is, like, I was a bit worried, because I thought I've never actually taught anyone. Like, I've never thought I wouldn't have the patience to teach someone. So I just thought, like, we'll see how it goes. And I had my first couple of students, and they were all my first few students were all girls.
Yeah.
And they'd never done it before. So obviously they come into the club and they're like, wow, this is like a massive club, and you're playing on like a function one sound system. And I really enjoyed it, and I just thought, like, oh, maybe this could be a thing. Like, it could be. But the thing is with me, like, I'm not one of them where I'm like, this is sick, like, I'm gonna make loads, like, it's gonna be amazing. I was worrying still, because with the situation with hospitality as well, I thought if they close, then it's going to be difficult for me to work. Anyway, so it got really busy, and like come like September time, like end of September, I was like, I want to start doing like production lessons. I wanted to take on some tutors to tutor production, and I just thought I can't teach production in a club. Like, it's not professional. It doesn't look. It's impossible, really. So I started looking around for studios, but it was a nightmare, and it was stressful. Like, I found one, and then it went like within a day, and I was just, oh, what am I going to do? Because then they were closing like the venues again, and like saying that clubs had to close, and I was like, right, I can't work. What am I going to do for 2 weeks? Like, I've got these people booked in, I've got nowhere to teach them. Like, what am I gonna do? And then by chance, I found my studio now that I've got, and I remember going to look at it. It's in Northern Quarter. I remember going to look at it, and it was literally just a room. It was grim. Like, the walls had graffiti all over them. The carpet was ripped. There was nothing in there. It looked like a building site, basically. And I was just like, oh, God. I thought, I've got 2 weeks before I've got people coming to get this studio sorted.
Running.
Yeah, basically. So by that point, I'd hired 2 tutors. So Dom tutors Ableton, like DJ classes. Sam tutors Logic, and he also runs a repair business. So this is a good plug, actually. If anyone needs repairs doing on Technics, literally anything you can think of, he will fix it. So controllers, CDJs, headphones, anything you can think of, mixers, anything like that, then message me, because he will be able to fix it. The guy in, literally. So then I'd got them to help with that side of things, and then we literally worked, me and Sam, like, painted the whole room. He put a new carpet in, we got a sofa, he built the DJ booth, built the production desk, like, we got everything in, and it looks sick. It looks
from the videos I've seen, it looks sick.
It's sick, it's massive. Which is another reason why I wanted it, actually, because with obviously COVID and like social distancing, when I'm teaching, it means I don't have to stand right next to my students. I can stand like in front of them, and a space for us to move around and still work. But yeah, it's been really busy. Obviously, it's been a bit rubbish because of like we've had to close. Like I tried to keep it open during when we were in tier 3, but then it went to lockdown in November, and I was like, right, open, I'm gonna have to shut. And then I opened it again on the 3rd of December, and then now we've gone into lockdown again. So
back and forth like a yo-yo, aren't we?
It's very annoying, but then again at the same time, it was a mental few months. Like when I was at cable, I literally was working nearly every single day.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, I need an actual break now
Yeah.
because it's so fast in like 4 or 5 months. It's mental. Like when I think about when it started back in June, that feels like years ago.
Yeah.
It literally feels like years ago because so much has happened. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. I just want this lockdown to go and then can open again.
So can you see you do that near enough as a future thing then? Is that what your new hobby is?
Yeah, like I think this is you know, this is my full-time thing now. Running, you know, like DJing, obviously I will still do that, but it's you know, at the moment you have to think of other ways. Like the thing is with me, because I've been so proactive, it's like drilled into me to always be doing something. Like like a project to be doing, or I need to get stuck into something, and that's why like when I started my academy, it was literally like, right, I either do it or I don't. Like I take the plunge and do it. If it you know, if it's shitty, then it whatever, but if it might work. And I think that's what you have to do, and I think it applies to everyone in the industry, like whether you're producer, DJ, label owner. If you don't take that first step,
completely agree. I completely agree. And it's funny that I was coming up to our last question. It was what would be a big piece of advice for someone, and I think
I've got so much. I've got so much I could say, but
I think that would be a big one. Would be just take the risk.
Yeah, I think it would literally be, don't be yourself. That's the most important thing. You need to be yourself. Be unique. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Don't like compare yourself to like everyone's Instagram pictures and like, you know, they're playing in these big clubs but you've never played outside your bedroom. Like it doesn't matter. Like your journey is your journey. Why would you know what I mean? Like don't like focus on yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree. I remember when, it's awful thinking this, but I remember when I first started my brand, and I remember I was good. I'm not naming what raves I went to, but I went to these really good raves, and I was at the rave and I was pissed off, and I was thinking, why am I pissed off? And I was like, because I was pissed off because it wasn't my rave. I was like, this isn't my party. And then I took a step back and I thought, hold on a second. The guys who are running this party are on like chapter 20 of their story. I've not even started chapter 1.
Exactly. And that's one thing as well, if you're thinking of putting an event on, you know, if you go into other people's events and you go into these ones like that have got, you know, 200, 300 people in and you've got 5, doesn't matter. Same if
you're at chapter 1 and they're at chapter 20.
And you go into, like I was, you know, when you get, you've got to play to an empty room, you've got to play to loads of empty rooms before you play big clubs and stuff. So it's part of the journey. It's not, you know, rubbish or anything like that. It's just how it works.
Exactly. So now we're going to hopefully post COVID in 2021.
Yeah.
What are you going to see yourself focusing your most energy on? Is it going to be the academy then? Yeah,
the academy and my mastering business really. That's really busy. So I'm trying to take advantage of, you know, the busy period with producers. I mean, like lockdown, I've had loads of music in for mastering, because I've got time. Like, so because you know, some people unfortunately aren't working at the moment. Got time to make music. But, you know, most people, I hear loads of people saying, "Oh, I've not got any time to like finish these tracks off because I'm working. I've not got time to make music." Like, well, now you've got time, do it.
Yeah.
So it will be my when it opens again. That's my plan for 2021.
Lovely. And then when it comes to your parties, have you got anything planned party wise, or is it just
so well, unfortunately, last year I had 4 planned with Manchester and then at Cable. I actually had one in Newcastle, which was going to be in June, and it'd be the first time I've done one in Newcastle, but I had to cancel it, and I was absolutely gutted about that. I think we're going to try just reschedule the date.
And are these just going to be like residents and friends?
Yeah, so the one that was going to be at Cable is just like residents, and then I ran like a warm up competition.
Yeah.
So I've got like 2 guys that won the warm up competition that'll be playing that. The one in Newcastle was like a collab with some lads up there.
Lovely.
So yeah, and then Leeds, I was planning Leeds as well. So yeah, I miss doing parties actually.
Yeah, that's honestly it's my biggest thing that I'm so miss planning
I
parties.
like socialising and being in a club.
Oh, I know it's such an awful thing we're not doing them anymore.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? But hopefully it'll be all gone soon.
Definitely. Well, we've literally just got on the hour that.
Amazing.
How good's that?
I've waffle for ages.
Well, anyway, thanks for coming on the podcast. And if anyone's listening now and you need any advice, Jini, will you answer anything?
I will. Feel free.
Such an amazing, lovely person to be around. So, but yeah,
So
lots of love from Orange Records. We thank you for everything.
You're most welcome, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Anyway, thanks very much. Thanks for coming on. See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.